If I spent that much time studying in college, I'd be a doctor by now. They all tell you on videos like this, they would come with the plan A, B, and C. I came with plan A. I grew up 10 miles across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. Are you going to feed your workers, or am I going to have to feed them? I'm not going to cook. You know, not unless you want hot dogs. It's the fact that you're outside your comfort zone. I'm retired, what else I gotta do? I'm the one that has to adapt.
Hey YouTube, Alex here, and in today's video we're going to sit down with my good friend Jerry. Jerry is an American who has been married to a Filipina in the United States for almost 20 years now, and they recently decided to relocate here to Luzon, where she is from, and they're really enjoying their new life, so I thought we would sit down with them and get to know them. Jerry has recently retired after a career with the U.S. Postal Service after completing a career with the U.S. Air Force. And without further ado, let's get into it. Jerry, if you could please introduce yourself.
I'm Jerry. I'm from Indiana, retired in Kentucky. Now we're retired in the Philippines.
Talk a bit about your career. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, no problem. I'm retired military. I spent,
Thank you for your service, Jerry.
You're welcome. Spent 20 years in, then I left the military, then I played around for about a year, and then I joined the Postal Service, and then I retired from there with 20 years as a postmaster. I've got two 20-year retirements.
Wow, yeah. You really planned very well. You're going to be very, comfortable here in the Philippines. How long have you been here in the Philippines?
Been there 3 weeks now.
Wow, so you're fresh.
Yeah, we spent the first week at her hometown where we'll be building a house. Then been on vacation since. So yeah, as far as the setting yourself up, they don't have a manual in high school or anything in college that, word for word, and they'll guarantee you're going to be a success in life. There's always that mitigating factor called life. So I just, did what I could, and it turned out all right. Unfortunately for a lot of people, they're not as blessed. So things didn't turn their way, and now they struggle. So, but, yeah, we've been in the Philippines for 3 weeks now. We're heading to Siargao for another week, and then back to the hometown and back to reality.
So you're not yet here permanently?
Yes.
Oh, you are here permanently.
Yeah, I'm on right now we're on the Bali buy-in visa.
Oh, wonderful.
Heidi from C&G Consulting is setting up my wife to get her dual citizenship. She let her passport run out. So for any of y'all back in the States, don't let your Filipino passport run out. It's a major pain, but Heidi's going to take care of that. Then I'll get my 13A visa. So right now we're on a 1-year Bali buy-in.
And so a lot of guys, part of what brings them here is they want to meet a Filipina, but you actually met your wife in the States. How did you guys cross paths?
I was down in Atlanta. Excuse me, I kind of got a head cold going on. But I was down in Atlanta on a little vacation, and went to a restaurant, and she was there, and had to talk to her, so started talking, and next thing you know, she's moving to Indiana. So we've been together about 19 years, married for about 17, so yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
so that's so atypical, I think it's really cool. But a lot of guys, of course, they come here as a bachelor, where you're coming here as a committed man. Yeah,
it's when we made the decision, or actually I came up with the decision to move. Kind of funny story. We were sitting there watching TV one night, and I was kind of doing a little bit of drinking, and leaned over to the wife, and I said, let's move to the Philippines. And she looked at me, and she said, what? I said, let's move to the Philippines. She said, well, let's talk about it in the morning. I said, okay. So we get up next morning, and she said, do you remember what you were telling me about last night? And I said, I was drinking a little bit, and I said, yeah, let's move to the Philippines. She said, if that's what you want to do, let's do it. So, and then it all started from there. The amount of research I put in the past 2 years, oh goodness. if I spent that much time studying in college, I'd be a doctor by now. So, but between the Google and the 1,000 hours of YouTube, and I did my research, I did my homework. Did I mess a few things up? Yeah, I screwed up a couple things, but nothing that's life-threatening or they all tell you on videos like this they come with the plan A, B, and C. I came with plan A. Might be some variations of plan A, but there's not going to be in B and C. So, yeah.
What prompted you to make the move?
It was a plethora of reasons.
Yeah.
First off, not the most important, but first of all, the States is not a pleasant place to be right now. The political divide is so obvious. I mean, it used to be, when I was growing up, and even up to 10 years ago, nobody cared what political side you were on, Now, oh yeah. So, and everybody's mad over there. It's like, you don't find too many pleasantries anymore, Even the small towns in the country, it's like, people are mad. But one of the major reasons I decided was, with my pensions and everything, we could survive over there just fine. Even with our mortgage, we had a real beautiful house on the lake. But if I died, then she's in trouble. Because she wouldn't get she would get half my postal pension, and she would get my Social Security. Come out to maybe, $3,000, $3,500 a month. She would have to sell the house, move into a little tiny apartment or something like that, Where over here, with that $3,000, $3,500 a month, she can live just fine. Plus, we're building a house. I have solar and our own well, and so once we get everything done, our operating expenses are going to be very small. So, when I kick the bucket, as they say, then she'll still be well off. But that was one of the major factors. When I was working, I had plenty of insurance. She could pay the house off, else she could buy herself a pool boy, But after I retired, that's expensive. That insurance is expensive. And then, it would aid into my budget pretty good. Another reason is I like adventure. I spent so long in the military that I love to travel.
Did you travel in the military?
Oh yeah, I've been to over 50 countries. And it's different because you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
So it's
you got some money in your pocket.
Yeah, so it's and they give you per diem and stuff like that. And so it was fun. And we plan on doing that here. Once we build our house, we're going to travel the Philippines extensively because our plan is to find that magical beach that we both love and either build or buy a house there where we can spend 6 months there, 6 months at the beach. But we also plan on traveling Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand. She wants to go back to Hong Kong. She was a overseas worker when she first left the Philippines, and she was in Hong Kong, so she wants to go back there. Then, I'm gonna go to Laos, might even South Korea. I was stationed there for a year. I missed the food, so, but that's our plan. Whether it happens or not still remains to be seen, but we're gonna give it a shot.
That's incredible. And over the years now, I know you guys have been married almost 20 years now.
Uh-huh.
Had she told you about the Philippines, or you were just, was it more about your travels? You had.
Yeah, I had already been here.
Oh, you'd already been
here?
here?
Yeah. I spent 3 months at Clark when I was in the military. Spent right before I retired. I spent another few weeks before I came back to the States. 2018, we spent a month with her family. We own some property outside of Baguio, so that's where we're going to build. When we first was looking into it, we're looking at Thailand and Vietnam as well. The deciding factor is Vietnam is just as cheap, if not cheaper than the Philippines. Language, big barrier. Big barrier in language. Thailand, I know you spent a year there, I think.
Yeah, I love Thailand.
Yeah. I think the people are nice inside the bigger congested areas. When you get outside the populated, I found them not to be as nice. They weren't mean, but they weren't smiling, and the language, you definitely get outside of your bigger Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. They don't speak English at all. But their food, their infrastructure, and they're just as cheap as the Philippines. So why we chose the Philippines was she owned land here and English. They speak English.
You mentioned having vacationed here a few times. I think the cost of living is obvious. Did you feel pretty welcome here as a non-Filipino guy?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Nowhere that you go, you're going to see frowns. But like I said, we've only been here 3 weeks. 2 of those weeks have been vacationing. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on the Philippines. I just combine with what I've researched, my experiences, and throughout the last 20 or 30 years when I visited last time or first time. Yeah, people are just so friendly. Period. I'm sure that enough time here, you'll come across a few that may not want you here or something like that. But compared to the States, it ain't nothing like the States. So, but we're going to enjoy it and see where life takes us.
You mentioned you want to check out some other places in Southeast Asia. What kind of places have you and your wife thought about, or maybe you haven't been there, or you have been there but you want to go back?
Okay, I've been to Thailand,
Very cool.
but we're going to go back. She's never been. She wants to hit up Hong Kong, where she worked as a OFW for, I think, 2 years before she went to the States. And so she wants to go back there. Vietnam, definitely, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia. Singapore, not so much. I think Singapore is extremely expensive, and it's mainly major city. So, when I go to anywhere, I don't like to, Manila, take it away. Bangkok, no way.
You're from Indiana.
I'm from Indiana, yeah. Our biggest city is Indianapolis, and I try to stay away from there. So, I grew up 10 miles across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. I stayed away from there like a plague, so I don't like traffic.
Congestion.
The congestion,
pollution.
yeah, I enjoyed this right here we're at. I could sit here all day. It's gorgeous. But, you don't have people running in and out.
You feel pretty safe here in the Philippines.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, as much as I have traveled, common sense takes a long way, I don't think you need to keep your head on a swivel, but keep your surroundings, be aware of your surroundings. Now, back when I was in the military, I might have done a few stupid things that I wouldn't do today. Amazing what a little alcohol and, superiority complex will get you. But, I wouldn't recommend it today, and I won't do it today. So, just be aware of your surroundings. I've seen where, I guess somebody got robbed and terminated, and local de Sor, was it?
It's in certain parts of Mindanao.
Yeah, the southern part.
Yeah, southern Mindanao. I've been to northern Mindanao, but I was very mindful of where I went.
Right.
And I think you mentioned where your wife's from in Luzon. Perfectly safe place.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very friendly people, welcoming to foreigners like us. You're going to Siargao next.
Yeah.
Can you speak a bit about what brings you and your wife to Siargao?
Well, I want the beach. I want the white sands.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this stretch of Dumaguete and Darwin, we were in Darwin yesterday, doesn't have the white sands. I wanted to go to Sikihor, but all their places that I would stay at hotel-wise, they're booked up until like the middle of March. So, they had your backpacking place, hostels, and I'm too old for that. You know, I want my air conditioning.
You like your comfort.
Yes. And so we thought about spending another week in Dumaguete, but we also kind of need to get back and start our house build too. So then she's got a niece that's being married first week of March, I think. So we need to get back and help out for that too. So we decided, no, we're going to hit Surigao for about 5 days, and as much research I've done, it seems like that's a beautiful island. Obviously, we want to hit like Palawan, El Nido, Coron, Boracay. We'll hit there. I'm not really that enthused to go there because everything I've been seeing has really become touristy. So, but we'll have to go just because it's Boracay. But then there's some beautiful places up there on the northwest side of Luzon. Probably about 4 or 5 hours from where we're at, that has the beautiful white sands. Apparently they got the connecting highway they're building. So might not be a bad investment spot too, pick up a couple lots. And so we're gonna check those out, because once we get to the house, start building, it's gonna be almost like a job. I'll have to be there every day, QC.
Guiding the process.
Yeah, and that's what I did in the military for 20 years. I was a construction engineer. So, of course, it's not Philippine construction, but it's I should be able to QC it pretty well. But we're lucky if we'll be able to take a 2 or 3 day weekend. Maybe combine it with a holiday or something like that. When they're not working, and then do some weekend trips around in the area.
One question I'm curious about, I know that you have this construction engineering background. I think that will help you a lot with guiding your process. How did you find the people that you wanted to bring on board to carry out these plans? I know a lot of guys struggle there. I'm just curious if maybe you have any insight to share.
What I've got right now is, I started months ago. I've got the contacts of about 12 different that I've narrowed down. I contacted like 50, but I got like 12 of them narrowed down as far as the architect, engineering companies, and I'll go visit each one of them. I got a list of questions, and just do it methodically like that. And whoever has the most pros versus cons is the one we'll do. I have a tendency to stay away from any foreign builders.
Got it.
I don't think they have as much to lose as a local does. So they're in Baguio. They're all over the place. You got tons of architects. Shoot, I got a niece that's architect for the city of Baguio. So.
Wow.
Yeah, but the main thing is just for me is to fill my boxes. Like I said, I got a list of about 20 questions. And it's as minute as something as, are you going to feed your workers, or am I going to have to feed them? Because a lot of your construction, especially if you hire local labor, the owner of the house has to feed, give them their lunch and snacks like that. I don't want my wife having to be there every single day,
You don't want to buy your wife another job.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't bring her here to be a full-time cook. So. But if the contractor brings their own people in, then they're responsible. They'll pay them a few extra pesos or something, or provide their own lunch. Something small as that. Can really. I've seen a lot of YouTubes that they're having to fix their workers lunch and snacks every day. And it's like, that's got to be a pain. Well, if my wife wants to go do something, I'm not going to cook. Not unless you want hot dogs, So I'm not going to waste my culinary skills on a lunch, But and then more important things like, do they have their own crew? Do they have their own equipment? Can they do a bank-to-bank transfer? I don't want to pay them off and
never see them again.
$500,000 or 500,000 pesos, and have that much cash. I'd rather do a bank-to-bank transfer. And I toyed with of just getting an architect, building the floor plan, and me hiring local and me doing the general contracting and all that. No. You know, I've got a strong construction background, but they do things different over here. So
you're not having to worry about the cold, for example, here.
No.
More about humidity and.
Well, it's rain, a lot of rain. Then we're about 30 minutes from the ocean, so we don't have to worry too much about salt. Termites are a big problem in the Philippines. That's why you see mainly
concrete.
Yeah, concrete, hollow block. And that's another thing. You know, our property is on a side of a mountain.
You were talking a bit about your service and growing up in Indiana. How has that prepared you for life over here?
Well, like I said, I've done extensive traveling. Even though I was in the Air Force, we still had a few times that was kind of rough, you know. Unlike the popular belief that we stayed in 5-star hotels.
Chair Force.
Yeah, Chair Force. You know, I spent a lot of time in a group called Red Horse. It's like the Navy Seabees or the Army Combat Engineers. We go around, build stuff, secure the area, then leave, and you know. But the traveling, it prepares you for things that aren't the most comfortable. Okay. I don't care what service you were in. You know, you didn't have it. You know, red carpet rolled out and all that. Indiana is not obviously New York City or San Francisco, or you know, we don't have the finer things in life, at least down where I was around from. But the military, as I told you before, traveling is in people's blood. All right, you know, growing up in Indiana, spent my last several years in Kentucky. There are people never even been out of the state. You know, 40 years old, never been out of the state. You know, or they think going out of the country is going down to Florida or something like that. You know, so, and they have no desire. You know, I got a ton of friends that when I told them I was moving over here, they said, "Good for you." He said, "I don't have the cojones to do something like that." You know. And I said, well, I don't think it's so much that. It's the fact that you're outside your comfort zone. You know, a wise man once told me that some of your best times in life is when you are outside your comfort zone. And I think back, you know, of all the years, and he's right. You know, some of my best memorable times are when I was outside my comfort zone. Also, you know, your friends and family, especially back in that area, you're from Tennessee, you know, grandchildren. You know, they, well, I couldn't do that. There ain't no way I could move overseas, you know, I'd be too far away from my grandchildren. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm on my last 20 years of life, or as my channel says, final chapter. And, you know, I can't let anybody else dictate that. You know, I can't, my life to live. You know, I spent my first 60 years of my life conforming to everybody else. It's my turn now. So that means I leave a grandchild behind, or, you know, they can always come over to visit. I can always go back there once in a while to visit, but, you know, it's, this is what we want to do, and we're not going to let anybody else, you know, affect that. So
you've earned it. You spent 20 years military, 20 years postal service.
I feel I've earned it, you know. But even if I hadn't done that, it's still your life, okay? My mom tried to guilt me, you know, to not living. Well, she's 83 years old. And to tell you the truth, she's gonna outlive all of us, okay? So, you know, and I told her, I'm supposed to sit around waiting for you to die. And I'm gonna end up,
like a vulture.
Yeah, I'm gonna before you anyway, so. And of course, she didn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to, any of her children to, you know, go before she does. But I told her, sorry, Mom. You know, that I got to live my life. You know.
You can always go back to Indiana and visit anytime you want. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not a wanted man.
No. No. I had to think about that. Kentucky? No, I'm good. I'm good. Florida, maybe not so much, but yeah, we're we're just having fun, Alex. It's you know, I break up my life. I break it up into 20-year increments. The first 20, you know, you're trying to find yourself. Okay, you're trying to decide what you're going to do. I don't think you're so much becoming a man. Your next 20 is what makes you a man. Okay, well, that 20 was in the military, and then 20 years in the postal service. So now, hopefully, I get another 20 years and close out that book. You know, so people ask me all the time, you know, aren't you scared of here, or you know, your medical, you know? I mean, me personally, no, I don't want to time soon. Okay. However, I lived a good life. You know, I can eat just as easy over the United States as I can here. You know, and obviously, if it's something serious, really, really bad, I'll just hop on a plane to Thailand. You know, but just if you plan on coming to the Philippines, do your research. I've seen so many vlogs, so many channels talking to people, and you just shake your head going, how could you not know that? Okay, I mean, it's Google 101, you know? So just do your homework. I mean, you don't have to do it as extensive as I did, but
figure out where you want to live, figure out what that looks like, what's that going to cost you.
It all depends on your stature. I mean, if you're single, you know, I would suggest, like a lot of other people do, rent. You know, go to Dumaguete for a month, rent. Go to Surigao for a month. Go to Iloilo. Just travel around, rent, and then when you find that place, it's going to hit you. You know, you're going to know. I'm not sure if you know the Regular Guy channel.
Yeah, Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty Boy, yeah. He's been doing it for years now, just going around. But he's got his top 5 areas that he would live in. And the only way he knew that is he traveled around and found out. Whether he will or not, I don't think so. That's a whole nother story with him. But yeah, just take the chance, you know. I'm not going to say do what I did, sell everything, up and go, you know. Only have plan A. I said that's not for normal people. I'm not normal, but yeah, I'll make it work regardless. So, yeah, just try it out. You know, come over for a few months, travel around. The only thing I wish, Alex, I was 20 years younger. So that's the only thing I wish. Let's see, what else you got? It's kind of hard to stay on topic because you know, these little branches and oh yeah that, you know.
One question I have, and I know it's a little bit different because your wife has lived in the States with you for many years. You mentioned your wife is Americanized, so you feel like different from the guy that comes here and meets a Filipina. You guys are more learning together.
Exactly. First of all, she's my best friend. Okay, we laugh all day, every day. We've been together, I said, almost 19 years, and I can count on one hand the number of arguments we've had. Okay, so we have an unbelievable relationship. So any of your viewers out there say, don't buy a house or we're fine, okay? Don't have to worry about that. But as far as her helping here, getting me accustomed to the Philippines, yes and no. She helps me more in the province type setting. But she's been in America for, the United States for 37 years, something like that. You know, so when we met, I was surprised I met the only redneck Filipino I've ever seen. She was so big into NASCAR.
Wow, really?
She not only knew the drivers, the numbers of the car, she knew the owners of the cars. Me, NASCAR? No, I'll look the results up the next day to see who won, you know, but I'm not going to sit there and watch, you know. But yeah, she's definitely Americanized. And coming over here, it's kind of funny. She'll give me little hints and stuff that I had already known for either my experiences here or from my research. But she's helped out in her province, you know, getting me prepared for, you know, life there. You know, I would say in the country, but I thrive in the country. But the country over here is different than the country back home. You know, you got a Dollar General store 2 miles away. You know, over in the States, and over here you got a sorry store that, you know, 5 miles up the road. So, but she's really helped me so far in that province area. Out here in the vacation, no, she's patience is a virtue over here. Hate using that cliche. As I told Mike the other day, you could watch 1,000 videos on patience, and you can't experience it till you actually, you just can't explain it. You know, I was prepared, you know, when we come over for shopping. It's going to take a half day of shopping, you know, just to get through the lines and stuff. I'm retired. What else I got to do? You know, I wasn't prepared to sit down for lunch, and 2.5 hours later, you finally get your bill. Okay, so I got to kind of, you know, little things like that. Yeah, I gotta remind myself it's the Philippines, and the wife is worse than I am when it comes to the patience aspect. You know, she gets upset, and I tell her, calm down. You know, it's the Philippines, it's the United States. So I'm slowly trying to get that American out of her. I don't want to get it out of her. I just want to get that Filipino back in her. You know,
it's tough because in America we have a convenience culture.
You've got everything
to be as fast as it can possibly be. And here people prefer the social element. To them it's more about the communication and the kind of the friendliness,
right,
than it is about, I want it done yesterday.
I agree.
I'll settle for getting it done today. Yeah. Where here it's like, okay, it might take you a while, you know.
But you know, to me, I would like to pick and choose that. You know, dinner like we had the other night. Dinner, I don't care if it took 4 hours. You know.
Yeah.
But when I'm going out for a quick lunch, I don't want, you know, 2.5 hours later, I'm still sitting there. It's on me. I'm gonna have to just get used to it because I'm not coming over here to change anything. You know, I'm the one that has to adapt, and I've only been here 3 weeks, so I'm adapting. But those, just some little things.
I think it hit me around the 3-month mark. I think at about 3 months is when I stepped down because I was in such a rush. This was in Thailand. I was walking really fast. And all of a sudden I caught myself. I'm like, I rushed around the Thai person on the sidewalk, and I was going to the gym. So this is not an emergency. You want to get your workout in. It's not an emergency. And I caught myself. I'm like, why am I trying to get to the gym where I'm going to be for an hour 15 seconds faster?
Yeah.
It's 15 seconds isn't going to blow my workout, you know. And I stopped and I thought, I'm going to just slow it down because, you know, it's going to get done. So Jerry, I know you and your lovely wife Bella need to get to the airport. Could you plug your YouTube channel?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a tiny YouTube channel that we set up for family and friends just to follow our adventure over here. The wife has a habit of blowing up Facebook, and it could be on anything, you know. I went out to eat, pictures of food, etc., etc. You know, the female Filipino thing to do. And I'm thinking, she's gonna go crazy over here, you know. So I said, why don't we set up a little YouTube channel, and instead of blowing Facebook up, you know, we'll let the people decide if they want. You know, when you're on Facebook, you know, somebody posts something, you're going to see it, whether you want to or not. You know, so at least with the channel, they got a choice. You know, they not see it or see it. And basically, we're just going to be documenting our travels, and then I'm also going to do a house build because I've noticed that. There's kind of a lack of that over here.
Yeah, not many people cover that.
And there's a huge demand for it. Because on the videos I do have it, a lot of people going, hey, what about this, what about that? You know, there's Facebook groups dedicated just for this. So I think I'm going to document our house build for the good or the bad. You know, point out the good things that happen, point out the mistakes, all that stuff. And people want to join and see on that, that's perfectly fine. Just don't expect a Alex type production. Okay, I don't edit, and 2 reasons I don't edit. First, I don't know how, and the second reason, I don't want to. Okay, it's not, you know. Like I said, we're doing it for fun. So far, it's been fun doing some videos. You know, when it becomes work, I'm done with work. I've already done my work. You know, so if you want to enjoy some unedited, sometimes nutty stuff, you know. It's Jerry and Bella's Final Chapter, Philippines.
And guys, we'll link it down below. Any final words for us before we wrap up, Jerry?
If you decide to make the move, do your research, period. That's it. I mean, there's so much information out there that if you come over here unprepared on something, it's your own fault. You know, there's videos on banking, phones, visas, I mean, everything. You know, so if you're serious about coming here just for a visit or even making the plunge, just do your homework, and that's it. Oh.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We want to thank Jerry for his service and for his time today. Go and check out their channel, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. See you later, everybody.
See ya.